Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're enjoying your day so far, and with the CDL finally confirming the schedule yesterday for the opening part of the season. These scrims between the top tier professional squads start to gain a lot more traction, a lot more weight, given that the league is only a couple of weeks away at this point. Yesterday, Dallas was scrimming OpTic, of course, well, two big name teams, and certainly a lot of people's opinion, maybe the two best teams in the game right now. Very competitive scrim sets, as we will look at here in just a second. But interestingly, the XM4 was gaining a lot of use in this scrim. The last few days we've heard the discussion about, okay, it's the Krieg, it's the 74U, especially since the AK-47 got GA'd, but it seems like the XM4 is now back, potentially even going to be taken over the meta once again. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below on which teams this potentially favours. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. Just to follow up from this yesterday, of course, we talked about the whole Rab Array disrespectful thing for the OpTic Chicago ranking video, and in reply thought this is pretty entertaining. Dr. Disrespect comes back and talks about some Black Ops 1 GBs. I'd carry on Havana, firing range, Hanoi, Sandwich Grid, and Nuketown. You carried on radiation. And well, as Patrick points out to me, 1v1 me would be pretty entertaining to see. Ray's certainly going to do his best to turn up with the goods against Dr. Disrespect if this does happen at any point. Also to mention this, of course, we discussed the Seattle Surge having a difficult time in scrims these past couple of weeks, but Gunless is now on the East Coast. It is supposedly a glitch. Welcome, Big P. So it seems like the internet situation might be somewhat better for Gunless now. We'll have to see how Seattle Surge get on in the coming weeks. Parasite is actually going to be playing the Challengers Cup number 4 with Jintroid, Hamza, Frosty, of course, that's Glow Frosty, and Stamino. So yeah, they were scrimming last night, having a decent result against, I watched a little bit of it against Sensor's team, and well, they were certainly looking pretty solid indeed. Also to mention the results of these polls then for the Kickoff Classic, which is going on January 23rd through to the 24th. And well, the Florida Mutineers, Los Angeles Guerrillas, Seattle Surge were up for grabs. FaZe are going to be playing the Mutineers, which I imagine then means Guerrillas and Seattle Surge play each other, which is, well, if that is the case, that's pretty entertaining, right, given that they were probably the two worst teams of last season. Then on the Dallas Empire side, they're going to be playing the New York Subliners, that of course being Clayster's team. That's going to be fun to see. And then Ravens and Paris Legion maybe will play each other, which makes sense as well. London versus Paris, especially with Scraps now on the Paris Legion. That is pretty cool to see. And then also, of course, the Green Wall with the biggest percentage of the votes going to Los Angeles Thieves. I imagine then Ultra and Rokkr will play each other on that opening weekend. They'll probably just play one match each or something over the couple of days, just to give us a taster of what is to come in the entire season. But yeah, OpTic Chicago, Los Angeles Thieves locked in for that launch weekend. Yeah, pretty exciting stuff, just a few days away at this point. But yesterday, OpTic Chicago were scrimming against the Dallas Empire and then the New York Subliners Academy squad as well. And well, the Dallas Empire scrims were very, very competitive and certainly a taste, I think, of what we're going to get this upcoming season. A lot of these maps super down to the wire, very intense scrim set to watch. You could tell that OpTic were going pretty damn hard in this one, and I'm sure, of course, both sides were, but obviously it meant a lot doing well against a squad like Dallas, given they are the reigning world champions, of course. So this is how the scrim set went. The first map, Garrison, 252-44 to OpTic Gaming. Dallas nearly made a crazy comeback in this one, and well, you'll see kind of the maps that OpTic win tend to be super down to the wire, and well, clutch factor from OpTic to get the job done. But Dallas were winning some kind of blowouts on occasion, especially on crossroads here, didn't really get close to them. And then in the controls, what was pretty impressive after OpTic win the hard points 3-2, especially given how good OpTic typically are at control. Dallas kind of ran through them on majority of these maps. I mean, Checkmate, they got scan and repair, so they just went on to raids. But so yeah, Dallas was 1-0 at the time. So overall scrim set goes to 4-3 in favour of Dallas. One of the more competitive and entertaining scrim sets I've watched in quite a while, and definitely sets the scene for probably a fantastic season to come, especially if the competition is going to be like this. But interestingly, of course, in this scrim set, a few days ago, we heard everyone talking about, okay, yeah, the 74U's taken over the meta, 3 of them on quite a lot of maps right now, teams are trialing out, and then the Krieg, of course, being kind of the main assault rifle that pretty much everyone is using. And I was kind of confused at the time, where is the XM4 going in this discussion, right? Given the M4 seems to be every pro's favourite weapon, given that they kept it in the game the entire season long in Modern Warfare, even though you could argue it was the strongest weapon in the game for a time. You know, the MP5, of course, with 10mm probably took that crown in that game, but the pros tend to like weapons like the M4, and I was kind of confused why, given the AK-47 got GA'd, why weren't we seeing too many XM4s? But yesterday, we certainly were, and on the majority of these maps, it seems like the XM4, once again, in terms of that main assault rifle role, is coming to the fore. Not only is the main AR on the team using it, but also the flex player in ELGATO, as we'll look at in just a second, it was also using it. So as Chrome points out a few days ago, as Octane said, look, he reckons the Krieg is the only usable AR back on the 7th of January. Doesn't seem like that's the case right now. So I share a few clips right here, including this one with ELGATO using the XM4. I just went through and grabbed all the final kill cams, and it turned out it was just ELGATO every single time with the XM4. Every time it was someone using an AR and a kill cam, it was ELGATO with the XM4 or the Krieg, as we'll see on Moscow. So on Moscow and on Checkmate, the Krieg is still certainly used, but on pretty much every other map, it seems to be the XM4 coming to the fore once again.
I'm not trying to sound the leadership, we gotta switch this host. I'm getting
it's not it.
No. Like, because I'm getting the same shit like on like Cell's host when we played FaZe that one time.
You're picking 200.
Not paying 200, I'm paying 70, but I could feel it in my reg. It's so ass.
I mean, bro, I don't care. We're literally doing so much like.
Break, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so hard to win them.
Single break.
I mean, bro, we should have to get more creative. Like, we know where they're gonna be, and we still like.
I mean, we've been doing the same for like 2 months. That's why I just figured, like, bro, these guys.
Yo, are we playing that?
I mean, yeah, everyone's just literally just calling out where people are. Like,
I said I was walking on that first people.
I said I done.
Oh,
but I mean, like, we know where they're gonna come from. Like, do our team shots, do like. They literally have to be funneled. Besides the time where the guy was in the back, like.
Yeah, like
one was in the back.
Brand, when you're in the back right there, you don't.
So based on what we saw last night, we're actually gearing up for a pretty nice meta, right, in my opinion. The fact that we've got the XM4 coming out on the majority of the maps, pretty nice assault rifle in my opinion. As you can see in some of these clips, ILLey completely frying with it. And well, Dashy and Formal were using it as well to some decent success on the OpTic gaming side. And then you've got the Krig on certain maps. On Moscow, of course, pretty long range situation. The Krig comes out. Also on occasionally on a map like Raid, it might come into the 4 as well on certain situations and certain lines of sight. And then Checkmate as well, pretty long range map. The Krig will come out. But then, you know, of course, the AK-74U is always going to be used in terms of an SMG. But there's definitely some variation and definitely, in honesty, some personal preference, right? Certainly some gunfights you can see, okay, maybe the XM4's better here, maybe the Krig's better here. But, well, if you're a guy like Octane and you have an absolute beamer and are effectively just using the ICR with Grip 2 from Call of Duty Black Ops 4 that he was so phenomenal with, you might actually see a guy like Octane use the Krig more often than some of these other assault rifles, right? And he might prefer it still on a map like Crossroads, whereas a guy like ILLey and, well, Crimsix in this example were using the XM4 on this map. So, going to be interesting to see. Honestly, kind of like the way this meta is shaping up now. We did have the question marks about, okay, like if the AK-47 is gone, is the AK-74U too strong? But it seems to me that based on what we saw last night, only a couple of weekends away from this league kicking off, seems like we have a pretty decent meta with the 74U, the XM4 and the Krig, all viable based to some degree on personal preference and to some degree on what map is being played, which honestly makes things pretty entertaining to watch, much better in my opinion than just a 2-weapon meta, which unfortunately we had for pretty much the entirety of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Few entertaining things to finish off the video with. Crim tweets this out and, well, of course, this image with his night vision goggles and stuff, and Trey says, bro, you really think you're Captain Price? Sit in your Herman Miller and stare at your monitor, you sad man. So yeah, Crim and, well, Zero, never ending entertainment on the timeline. This one was 10 out of 10. Also thought I'd mention this, so, well, the hashtags, I think the video later today I actually recorded yesterday, so I talk about the hashtags and that, but it has now been confirmed what those hashtags are going to be. But, well, as Crone says, gold star to anyone who can figure out the second hashtags for Legion, Thieves, and Subliners. On guard, LA Thieves, New York Subliners. Methods comes out with this one, hashtag TJ is fans. Yeah, Hastro as well comes out with hashtag LA Hoodies, of course, with the whole, like, hoodie org stuff that went down quite a while ago. But it was then confirmed by the Call of Duty League that TJ is fat, unfortunately, is not the hashtag for the LA Thieves. And these are the hashtags for the upcoming season. Pretty interesting that, well, for example, OpTic Chicago, you can also do hashtag OpTic or hashtag Green Wall, but that will give you the OpTic Gaming logo. But if you do hashtag Brick by Brick or hashtag OpTic Chi-Town, then, well, you will get the OpTic Chicago logo. And, well, most teams have two. LA Thieves only have one, and, I mean, it's not really a surprise from Paris Legion only having one. But New York Subliners and LA Thieves, you'd have thought maybe they could have come up with something else. I'd like to see, like, a hashtag running up or something like that for Los Angeles Thieves. But, yeah, not the case for now, but pretty cool to see the hash flags coming into play, which I found out that's what they're called yesterday when you, well, type a hashtag in, and some sort of image, which maybe they call a flag, comes up to the side of it. But intrigued to hear your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm to know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
Wait, I want to stake this guy. How is he running faster than me? I'm using a speed grip sub. Are you kidding me? Really? No!
Yo, that trophy play, I'll play the f out of you.
I'm mad, bro.
Yo, 2v1, one's cat, one's right.
Who's this? Scam. Oh, clip it!